Greetings, young seekers. Across centuries, empires have risen, stars have guided wanderers, and minds have chased answers to one burning question. What is the secret to a life that matters? It is not wealth, not power, not even time. The truth is simpler and far more extraordinary. It has always been here, hidden not in tombs or temples, but in the quiet pulse of your courage, the fire of your choices, the story only you can write. The secret isn't out there, young seeker. It's already within you. The only question is, will you let it speak? Life doesn't happen to us. It happens through us. Think about that for a moment. Life isn't some external force conspiring against us or handing out random punishments and rewards. Instead, it flows through us, through our thoughts, our choices, our actions. Every experience we encounter, whether it's joy or hardship, triumph or failure, is filtered through the lens of how we choose to perceive it. And this is where the power lies, not in what happens outside of us, but in how we respond within. Because here's the truth. Challenges are inevitable. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, storms will come your way. Some will feel like gentle rains, nudging you toward growth. Others might feel like hurricanes, threatening to uproot everything you hold dear. But here's the key distinction: thriving versus surviving. You see, anyone can survive a storm by simply enduring it, by gritting their teeth and waiting for the clouds to pass. But thriving means finding meaning even in the chaos. It means using those storms as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, more resilient. And how we respond to these challenges, the mindset we adopt, the perspective we cultivate, that determines whether we merely endure life or truly live it. What I'm about to share with you comes from one of the most timeless philosophies ever conceived: Stoicism. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or being unfeeling. It's quite the opposite. It's about learning to master your emotions so they serve you rather than control you. It's about recognizing what's within your power and what isn't, focusing your energy on what you can change, and letting go of what you can't. In short, it's a guidebook for living well, not just when times are good, but especially when times are tough. Imagine standing at the edge of a raging sea. The waves crash relentlessly, pulling at your feet, trying to knock you off balance. You can't stop the tide, that's beyond your control, but you can learn to stand firm, to adjust your footing, to find stability even amidst the chaos. That's what Stoicism teaches us: how to navigate the storms of life with grace, courage, and clarity. So as we dive into this together, I want you to sit back, open your mind, and listen closely. Let these words sink deep into your heart. Because what you're about to hear isn't just information, it's transformation. These ideas have the potential to shift the way you view yourself, your circumstances, and the world around you. They're seeds of wisdom, planted now, that can grow into something extraordinary if you nurture them. So take a breath, embrace the journey ahead, and prepare to discover tools that will help you not only weather life's storms, but rise above them. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how two people can face the exact same situation but react completely differently? One person looks at an obstacle and sees it as insurmountable, a wall too high to climb, a problem too big to solve. Another person stares at that very same challenge and views it not as a roadblock, but as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become stronger. Why is that? What makes their reactions so different when the circumstances are identical? The answer lies in the power of perspective. You see, our thoughts shape our reality. The Stoics, an ancient school of philosophers who lived centuries ago, understood this truth long before modern science began to confirm it. They taught that we don't control what happens to us. Life will always throw its share of challenges our way, but what we do control is how we interpret those events, how we choose to respond to them. And that choice, the stories we tell ourselves about the world around us, is what ultimately determines whether we thrive or struggle. Think of your mind as a garden. Just like any garden, it requires care and attention. If you nurture it with positive thoughts, gratitude, and clarity, it will flourish. Beautiful flowers of resilience, hope, and wisdom will bloom. But if you neglect it, if you allow weeds of negativity, self-doubt, and fear to take root, they'll spread quickly, choking out all possibility of growth. Your mindset becomes the soil from which your actions, emotions, and outcomes grow. So ask yourself, what kind of gardener are you being for your own mind? Here's my first piece of advice. Be mindful of your thoughts. When faced with difficulty, pause. Take a step back. Ask yourself, is this truly as bad as it seems? Or am I letting fear cloud my judgment? Often, the things we dread most exist only in our minds, amplified by worst-case scenarios we've imagined, not by reality itself. Fear has a way of distorting the truth, making mountains out of molehills and turning minor setbacks into catastrophic failures. But when you stop to question those automatic thoughts, when you challenge the narrative you're telling yourself, you begin to reclaim your power. Remember this, it's not the event itself that disturbs us. It's the story we tell ourselves about it. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. One person might react with anger, honking their horn and muttering under their breath, letting frustration ruin their day. Another person might think, maybe they're rushing to the hospital or dealing with an emergency. Same event, entirely different reaction. Which one feels better? Which one leaves room for peace instead of stress? This principle applies to every area of life. Whether it's a tough breakup, a missed promotion, or a global crisis, the way you frame the situation matters more than the situation itself. You can either let it define you, limit you, and hold you back, or you can use it as fuel to rise higher, to discover new strengths, to rewrite your story. So here's the takeaway. Train your mind to see challenges as opportunities. Cultivate awareness of your thoughts. Weed out the negativity before it takes hold. And above all, remember that no matter what happens outside of you, the real battle and the real victory takes place within. Now, let's talk about direction. Imagine setting sail across the vast ocean without a destination in mind. No compass, no map, no North Star to guide you. What happens? You drift aimlessly, at the mercy of every wind and wave, carried wherever the currents take you. Sure, you might stumble upon an island or two by chance, but there's no guarantee it's where you wanted to go, or even somewhere worth staying. Life works the same way. Without clear goals, without a sense of purpose, we risk wasting precious time chasing things that don't truly matter. We get caught up in distractions, fleeting pleasures, and societal pressures, only to look back years later and wonder, where did all my time go? The Stoics understood this better than most. They taught us to define our desires with precision, not vague wishes like, I want to be happy or I want to be successful, but specific, intentional visions of what fulfillment looks like for you. Because here's the thing, success means something different to everyone. For one person, it might mean building meaningful relationships, creating deep connections with family, friends, or community. For another, it could mean mastering a skill, whether that's playing an instrument, excelling in a profession, or becoming fluent in a language. And for someone else, success might be about contributing to the greater good, leaving the world just a little bit better than they found it. So ask yourself, what does success look like for me? What kind of life do I want to create? Where do I want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or even at the end of my journey? Once you know exactly where you're headed, each step becomes easier to take. Clarity gives you focus. It turns scattered energy into deliberate action. Suddenly, decisions become simpler because you have a benchmark against which to measure them. Does this choice move me closer to my vision? If yes, embrace it. If not, let it go. And here's the key. Align your daily actions with your long-term vision. This is where so many people fall short. They dream big but fail to act small. They wait for motivation to strike or for the perfect moment to begin. But progress doesn't work that way. Progress is built through small, consistent efforts that compound over time. Think about it. Write one page today and soon you'll have a book. Save a little each month and eventually you'll have wealth. Practice gratitude every morning, and before long, you'll notice a profound shift in your mindset. These tiny steps may feel insignificant in the moment, but trust me, they add up. Like drops of water carving through rock, persistence shapes destiny. Of course, progress often feels slow. There will be days when you doubt yourself, when the finish line seems impossibly far away. But remember this, every great achievement was once invisible, hidden in the soil of effort and patience. The oak tree doesn't sprout overnight. It grows steadily, rooted in the ground, until one day its branches reach toward the sky. Your dreams are no different. Keep showing up, keep taking those small steps, and over time you'll look back and marvel at how far you've come. So as you think about your own direction, I encourage you to reflect deeply. Define your goals with clarity. Break them down into manageable pieces. And above all, align your daily actions with the future you envision for yourself. Because life isn't about drifting, it's about steering. It's about choosing where you want to go and then charting a course to get there. So grab the wheel, set your sights on the horizon, and start sailing toward the life you were meant to live. Life is unpredictable. There will be days when everything seems to go wrong, when plans fall apart, dreams feel distant, and the weight of the world presses down on your shoulders. Maybe it's a missed opportunity, a broken relationship, or simply one of those days where nothing seems to work out no matter how hard you try. On days like these, it's easy to spiral into frustration, doubt, or despair. But here's what I want you to remember. Even in the midst of chaos, there is always something to hold on to, and that's where gratitude comes in. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's not about pretending everything is perfect when it's not. Instead, it's a practice, a conscious effort to recognize the abundance already present in your life, even amidst the struggles. Think about it. Did you wake up today? That's a gift. Do you have food to eat, air to breathe, and loved ones who care for you? These are treasures that so many people overlook, yet they form the foundation of a meaningful life. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant, helping you see that even on the hardest days, there is still light to be found. Here's a simple exercise that can transform the way you experience life. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't need to be grand achievements or monumental moments. Even the smallest joys count. Perhaps it was the warmth of sunlight on your face, a kind word from a stranger, or the comfort of your favorite meal. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to focus on the positive, training it to notice the good instead of fixating on the bad. And here's the beautiful part. The more you practice gratitude, the more blessings seem to flow into your life. Not because the universe magically changes, but because you change. You start seeing opportunities where once you saw obstacles, beauty where once you saw flaws, and hope where once you saw despair. But let's be clear. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending challenges don't exist. Life will test you. It will throw storms your way that shake you to your core. And that's okay. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about facing it with courage. It's about acknowledging the difficulty, feeling the emotions fully, and then choosing to rise above them. Every challenge you overcome makes you stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling whatever comes next. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional, and gratitude is one of the most powerful tools we have to transcend suffering. Think of resilience like building a muscle. Each time you face adversity and choose to respond with grace and determination, you strengthen that muscle. You prove to yourself that you can endure, adapt, and grow. And as you cultivate both gratitude and resilience together, You create a virtuous cycle. Gratitude helps you find meaning in the struggle, and resilience gives you the strength to keep moving forward. So on those tough days, the ones where it feels like the world is conspiring against you, I invite you to turn inward. Take a deep breath. Look around you. Find one thing, however small, to be grateful for. Let that spark of gratitude ignite a flame within you, reminding you of your own power to persevere. Because no matter how unpredictable life may be, one truth remains constant. You have the ability to shape your perspective, to choose gratitude over bitterness, and to emerge from every storm stronger than before. Dreams without action remain fantasies. Think about that for a moment. How many times have you heard someone say, "I wish I could travel the world," or "I want to start my own business," or "I'd love to write a book someday"? These dreams sound inspiring, don't they? But here's the hard truth. Wishing alone won't get you there. Many young people, and even older ones, spend their days dreaming of change but never take the steps needed to create it. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect feeling of confidence before they act. But guess what? That perfect moment rarely comes. If you truly want to bring your dreams to life, you have to stop waiting and start doing. Let me remind you of something important. You cannot control external events. Life is unpredictable, and obstacles will always arise, things outside of your power to change. But here's the good news. You can control your effort. No matter what happens around you, no matter how chaotic or unfair life feels, you always have the ability to choose how hard you're willing to work, how much energy you're willing to invest, and how determined you are to keep going. And that choice, the decision to take inspired action, is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who simply talk about them. Inspired action means moving forward despite fear. Let's be honest, fear is natural. Whether it's fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown, everyone experiences it at some point. But here's the key. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the willingness to act in spite of it. So start small. If your dream is to improve your health, commit to walking for just 10 minutes a day. Want to learn a new skill, like coding, painting, or playing an instrument? Dedicate 15 minutes daily to practice. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. In fact, starting small is often the best approach. Why? Because each tiny step builds momentum. Each little victory gives you the confidence to take the next step, and then the next, until suddenly you're miles closer to your goal than you ever thought possible. But beware of self-sabotage. That sneaky inner critic that loves to whisper lies in your ear. You're not good enough, it says. This is too hard. What if you fail? Sound familiar? We all have this voice inside us, but the difference between success and stagnation lies in how we respond to it. Don't let that critic win. Silence it by reminding yourself of past victories. Think back to challenges you've already overcome, times when you doubted yourself but pushed through anyway. Maybe it was passing a tough exam, learning to ride a bike, or standing up for what you believed in. Whatever it was, you proved then that you were capable of growth, and you can prove it again now. Trust in your ability to adapt, to grow, and to persevere. Remember, progress isn't linear. There will be setbacks along the way, days when you feel like giving up, when the finish line seems impossibly far away. But here's the secret. Success belongs to those who refuse to quit. It's not about being the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. It's about showing up consistently, putting in the work, and believing in yourself even when others doubt you, or when you doubt yourself. So today, I challenge you to take one step toward your dream. Just one. Write that first paragraph, make that first call, take that first walk. Action breeds clarity, and clarity breeds confidence. Before you know it, those small steps will add up to something extraordinary. Because dreams don't come true on their own. They come true when you roll up your sleeves, face your fears, and do the work. So go ahead, take that step. Your future self will thank you. Finally, understand this. Life flows like a river. Sometimes it moves swiftly, carrying you forward with exhilarating speed. Other times, it slows to a trickle, leaving you feeling stuck or stagnant. And here's the thing, trying to force the current only leads to frustration. You can't rush a river any more than you can control the tides. Instead, learn to flow with it, to adapt, to surrender, to trust the journey even when you can't see where it's headed. The Stoics spoke of living in harmony with nature, not just the natural world around us, but also our own true nature. What does that mean? It means understanding who you are at your core and allowing that truth to guide your actions. Are you creative? Then create, paint, write, design, build. Let your imagination flow freely and bring beauty into the world. Are you compassionate? Then serve others. Offer kindness. Lend a listening ear. Be the light someone needs in their darkest hour. When your actions align with your deepest values, something remarkable happens. You find peace, not the fleeting kind that comes from external achievements, but the deep, abiding sense of fulfillment that arises when you're living authentically. But let's be clear. Living in harmony with your true nature doesn't mean life will always be easy. Challenges will come, they're inevitable. The river may twist and turn, encounter rocks and rapids, or even dry up temporarily. Yet every challenge carries within it an opportunity, an invitation to grow, to stretch beyond your limits, to discover strengths you didn't know you had. Embrace these moments because they shape you, they refine you, they teach you lessons that smooth the rough edges and prepare you for what lies ahead. Think about storms, for example. When dark clouds gather and rain pours down, it's tempting to wish them away, to resent the discomfort they bring. But storms pass, and often, they leave behind clearer skies, fresher air, and vibrant landscapes. In the same way, setbacks in life, even the painful ones, are temporary. They carry lessons meant to guide you toward your highest potential. Trust that every detour, every delay, every difficulty has a purpose, even if it's not immediately obvious. So how do you navigate the twists and turns of the river of life? First, by staying grounded in your values. When you know what truly matters to you, decisions become easier. Distractions lose their power, and you can focus on what aligns with your authentic self. Second, by practicing patience. Just as a gardener doesn't dig up seeds daily to check their progress, neither should you rush the process of growth in your own life. Some things take time, and that's okay. Third, by cultivating resilience. Remember, it's not about avoiding storms. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Every challenge you face is preparing you for greater things ahead. When you learn to flow with life instead of fighting against it, something beautiful happens. You stop resisting the present moment and start embracing it. You realize that even in the slow-moving parts of the river, the quiet, uncertain stretches, you're still moving forward. Even in the storms, you're being shaped into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. And when the waters calm again, you'll look back and see how far you've come. So trust the flow of life. Trust yourself. Align your actions with your deepest values, and let that alignment guide you through both the swift currents and the still waters. Because no matter how turbulent the journey may feel at times, one thing is certain. You are exactly where you need to be, becoming who you were always meant to become. The journey ahead won't always be easy, but armed with these principles, mindfulness, clarity, gratitude, action, and harmony, you'll navigate life's twists and turns with grace and strength. As you go forth, remember this: the greatest gift you can give yourself is the commitment to live intentionally. Choose wisely, act boldly, and trust in the process. The universe has a way of rewarding those who walk their path with integrity. Thank you for joining me today. If these words resonated with you, consider subscribing so we can continue exploring the art of living well together. Until next time, stay curious, stay courageous, and above all, stay true to yourself.